In today's equity index futures markets, let's take a look at the S&P 500 futures as we're seeing a nice bounce once again today in the S&P 500 futures, up 6 consecutive days now, and it appears that we're going to realize a new closing high for the S&P 500 futures somewhere around the 3051, 3052 levels. So again, I do want to point out that we did see a nice move today. However, we did not take out last Thursday's high of 3065. So even though the market may realize a new closing high for the S&P 500 futures today from those March lows, I should say, the market did not take out last Thursday's high of 3065, at least to this juncture. And when you look at some of the drivers today, first and foremost, I think you have to look at the strength of the equity markets overseas. We saw some strength in Asia, also transferred into Europe. And then as the S&P 500 futures were gyrating between negative and positive overnight, we did see some strength right after the opening. And again, I think part of the reason was the strength that we saw from a global perspective. Couple that with the data points that came out this morning. We had manufacturing numbers and construction spending, and both were better than expected. I think that helped to also provide a lift to the markets. And the third thing is the allocation models that have a tendency, or typically have allocate, I should say, to the market on the first of the month. And I think you're continuing to see that theme play out. And I think that's another factor here today where we had some allocation models basically directing money flows into the equity markets and helping to boost, again, the futures markets on the equity indexes. And when you look at some of the trends in place, I want to point out today, actually the biggest winner today was the Russell. We did see the Russell continuing to try to play catch up relative to the other major index futures. Certainly the NASDAQ continues to lead the charge, but we are seeing the Russell at least trying to close some of the gap. We are seeing some rotation here in some of the different markets, and we do see the Russell having the ability here to show a little bit of outperformance in the last week. And also couple that with the fact that when you look at the S&P 500 futures today, out of the money call activity, pretty interesting today. We did see quite a bit of out-of-the-money call activity in the June contract, and you're looking at the 31 strike, 3150 strike, the 3200 strike, and the 3250 strike. All those saw outsized call activity today as we roll into the June construct.